So, we're at this spot where we're ticking said boxes. There we go. And it's asking me for the timeout. And I'm going to give it the exact same value I did before, 50 seconds. And OK. There we go. And click yes. It's telling me what it's going to do. And now it's formatting. And so it's doing its thing, of course, yet again, formatting the system. The benefits of cloning to your device are many, because it allows you the opportunity of less device wear, far less device wear and tear, far less on the actual device itself. It as well allows you a lot more space for programs, for multiple partitions. So literally you're going to be running your operating, when we're done here, you'll be running the operating system directly off of the SD card. Very handy, that. We seem to be having a small display setting issue here. Well, no wonder brightness period of 30 seconds. What the heck? There we go. Okay. So, there we are. So yes, and yes, at the end of this, you'll be running your operating system off of your micro card, which is a lot cheaper than replacing your whole device. I don't usually go for 2 GB cards, unless it's like just a beater that I've got laying around that I toss a card into, just for the operating system alone. For the most part, I like to have multiple partitions, and I like to have Ubuntu on one, and Debian on another, and or EasyMirror. That's what I enjoy having. As well as having Diablo Turbo. And that's, of course, coming down to the next thing that we'll be doing after all of this, and that's prepping to install Diablo Turbo onto the device SD card. See, we're just going to leave the entire operating system on board the device, in the internal, guts of the device. We're going to leave it pretty much in a pristine state, shy of just having console tools and Xterm installed. That's the only things that we're going to actually have on this pristine copy. The pristine original. And it's on the copy that we're going to be doing all of our installations, and updates and upgrades and everything else. It makes it a lot smoother to do it that way, less problem-free with console tools. That's what I've noticed anyway. You start bogging the system down with a whole bunch of updates and programs installed, and then you go to clone, and you'll find you'll have issues. So it's doing just the last bit of the cloning, the second cloning, and that's the one that we'll take. And after this, it'll reboot, and then we'll install, we'll update the boot menu, at which point then we'll be done. And there we go. And I'll click OK. There we go. So now we're booting, and now you will see the proper menu here with your little timeout up in the upper right. The moment you press on anything here, it'll the timeout will go. So it's quite handy. Now we're going to be booting from the internal flash still, because we still have yet to go back and do PBEZ. This is the last time you need to do this, though. I know when you first approach doing all of this, it may feel hairy, but having a visual walkthrough is very helpful. If only there were something like this on YouTube or on the site. I would have found it a lot smoother, transition myself, because I'm a visual person. I learn visually a lot easier than I learn by text. So anyway, not saying that I don't learn well by text, but I pick up things quicker by seeing. So we go back into PBEZ. And enter. And we're right back here again. So now we're going to scroll down to upgrade, the third in the list here. And we are upgrading the boot menu. There we go. And it's just that quick. And now we can cancel. And now we're out because it shows down here that we are with the command line. And so I'm exiting that. Now I'm going to power off. Just lightly tap the power button, and we're going to switch off. Now we switch it back on. Now we are going to go into the internal. The internal memory card, not the internal guts of the system. And look at that. Now you are officially booting from the operating system the copy that you've created on the SD card. You aren't running it off of the actual n800 anymore. You're running it straight off of the card. So this is really quite handy. You don't want to take the card out. Don't do that. You leave it in if you start up your system. Otherwise you have to pretty much boot from flash, because it won't find your SD card. It'll boot from the internal guts of the device. So anyway, now from here we'll continue with tweaking your operating system that's now on your SD card. 2 gigabytes isn't a big size for a card, but it's big enough. That's exactly what you have on board as far as total space for your operating system that you would be running everything off of normally. So you can do everything on this tiny little 2 gigabyte that you would have normally anyway. My best suggestion is an 8 gigabyte card, 16 gigabyte, 32 gigabyte. Whichever your heart desires. The optimal class size is class 4. SDHC, or micro SDHC. So yeah, and that's where we are in a nutshell. So you've now successfully cloned your operating system. I know it seemed a little fuzzy, in spots. I wish it weren't so, but it's that darn font size. I can't change that. I can't help that. But we're at least done that. So, onwards and upwards.